Hello, my name is Kathleen Beaton and I've been a member of the Rotary Club of Tsawwassen since 2008. And during that time I've had the honor of hosting two international exchange students. Our first one was Jan from the Czech Republic and our second student was Amrik from Belgium. And I'm soon to host our current student who is Mette from Denmark. And I know when I first started thinking about hosting a student, my husband and I, we did have some hesitations. We were kind of wondering if we would have the time to host a student. We thought we might be too busy because our lives are quite busy with work and other things going on. But we actually found that when the students came, they kind of just slid right into our lifestyle. And they it worked out great. They were very capable of looking after themselves. They looked after their own food and they, did their own laundry. So it really was just easy to have them around and the busyness didn't seem to be a problem. There was another thing we thought about, and that was that maybe if we went away on a holiday or something, what would we do with a student? We can't have them alone in our house. But we just soon found, because we did go away a couple of times, that there were other people that were quite willing to take the student and quite willing to have them in their home. So that wasn't an issue either. For us, we also thought, well, we have no children in our home anymore. Our children are grown, and even though they're in and out, they're not in our home. So I thought, oh, maybe this young person would be bored in our home. But actually, by the time we got them, or even during the time we had them in our home, they made a lot of friends. They made so many friends in the high school, and they had a lot of friends that were other international exchange students. So our house actually became full of young people, and they were always going out. In fact, there was one fellow we hardly ever saw because he was always out having a good time with his friends. So that didn't seem to be a problem, and so we've continued to take kids in our home even though we don't have any of our own. So other people I know have said, oh, it's a lot of work to have an exchange student in your home. But like I've said, it didn't seem to be too much work. These students are chosen because they're very independent and they're very mature. So they do a lot of their own work for them. They even cooked meals for us. They helped out with yard work. They basically did whatever my own kids would have done, possibly even more than my own kids did. And so it was a real pleasure to have them around. And we also kind of wondered at one time whether, we got a student that didn't speak English well, how would that be? But it also turned out that all of our students speak very good English. That seems to be the language they all learn in school, and when they come here, they're young enough that they pick it up very quickly. So there really isn't too many things that would make us hesitate to have a student in our home these days. But one of the things that we do love about having kids in the house is that it's so much fun. As I mentioned, our children are grown and it's really nice to have a young person in the house. It brings a lot of fun and excitement into our life. We get to show them around our city and take them on little trips and introduce them to Canadian culture. And that's just really fun for us to see them learning new things, to see them learning the language, to see them discovering new things. And we get to be in on that. So that's really fun as well. We love watching them grow. And some other benefits to having them there. I think it's kind of a different one, but for us it was like fun to be a parent again. It had been a little while since we had done hands-on parenting, so we got to sharpen our parenting skills and they were a little rusty, but that was fun, and it just brings sort of a youthful vitality into our home when we have a student. And I think the best part really is just helping a young person to grow. And we see them develop and mature so much over the time that they are here because they are faced with challenges. And not a lot of young people willingly put themselves in the face of challenge anymore. And we had the opportunity a couple of years ago to visit one of our former exchange students. We went to the Czech Republic. We met up with Jan, who was really just a young fellow when we met him. When we had him in our home, he was 17. He was then 20 when we met him in the Czech Republic. And he had turned into a very fine fellow. Not that he was not before, but he just had matured so nicely. He spoke very well of his time in Canada. All the people he met, he stayed in touch with them, and he just had such a nice, warm sense of Canada, which was lovely because he is definitely Czech and doesn't want to move from the Czech Republic. But I think that will serve him well in the future. He plans to go into politics, actually, in the Czech Republic, and so I think his time in Canada really helped him a lot to take that on. So I would say there's just so many benefits to having an international student in your home. I would do it again myself, and I'd really, really encourage you to do it too if you have the opportunity. Thanks.